So, advantages of filing VAWA. So, if you file VAWA, you get deferred action, and that's where I want to talk about adjustment of status and those that cannot adjust status, right? So, if you come into the United States, say you came in, you stayed for a year, and then you leave, and then you come in again, you have what we call a permanent bar. So you come in and you stay longer than the 6 months that your visa allows you to stay, you begin to accrue unlawful presence. And if you accrue unlawful presence for more than 6 months and less than a year, you should not come back to the country if you leave until after 3 years. If you've accrued unlawful presence for over a year, you should not come back into the country until after 10 years. So if you come in before the statutory bar, then that's a permanent bar because it's multiple entries. Or if you come into the United States without a visa, you come through the border, and then you leave and come back again, that's also multiple entries that creates a permanent bar. So for people like this, or for people who commit a crime or have other types of inadmissibilities against them, they cannot adjust status. Adjustment of status is where you get the green card. Actually, it's not the VAWA that gives you the green card. It's the adjustment of status. So if your VAWA is approved, then with that approval, you can now adjust your status to get a green card. Adjust your status from whatever you were before to now a green card. So for some people, they cannot adjust status because there's some kind of admissibility bars against them. So for those people, even if they file VAWA, they can still get deferred action, which means that they won't be deported. It's a protection against deportation. It's not a legal status in the sense that you're not getting a green card. It's not a pathway to citizenship, but you can get a work permit, you can work here, and it protects you against deportation. So for those people who cannot adjust their status, deferred action through VAWA is something that they should consider. And of course, through VAWA, you get employment authorization. And typically when we file the one step, you get your employment EAD card within 6 to 8 months from filing. And for a person who's been abused, being able to work, having money, sometimes makes the difference in them being able to get out of the abusive situation, because a lot of people don't leave their abuser because they can afford to. Now, if you also file VAWA and adjustment of status, you also get advanced parole, which allows you to travel in and out of the country while your case is being adjudicated. Like I said, VAWA takes like 24 months. So, but you get to work, you get to travel, go see your family during that time. Now, VAWA allows you to include your children who are under 21 years and are married. And this includes children who are outside the United States. As long as they are married and under 21, your approval, you can include them. Your VAWA approval gives them a derivative status, and they can get a green card through you, even if they're not here. So, okay, we talked about being able to, you're eligible to adjust status and get a green card. Another thing you have to know is that when you apply for VAWA, right, and you go to adjust your status, you get to go to your adjustment of status interview. The officer there does not get to redetermine whether your VAWA application was properly decided. They can't ask you questions about the abuse and all that. Typically, they're just there to check on admissibility issues to make sure you're able to adjust to a green card. And that's such a relief for a lot of VAWA clients, because having to relieve the abuse is difficult, you know. And so when you go for your adjustment of status interview, you don't have to worry about that. So another thing that VAWA waives is, VAWA waives several inadmissibility issues, such as illegal entry. We talked about that. If you come in, say, entry without inspection, which is IWI, which is you came through the border or you came in without a visa. Typically, if a family member were going to file for you, you would have to file a waiver and get the waiver approved, and then leave the country and get your visa through the consulate in your country. And that takes a while. With VAWA, your illegal entry, whether you came in through the border or whether you overstayed your visa, irrelevant. You can adjust status without that, okay? If you've worked unauthorized employment is waived by VAWA. Public charge, waived by VAWA. Public charge means that you have to show that you're not going to be a public charge, right? So when you have a family member, say you married a US citizen or green card holder and they have to file for you, they have to file an affidavit of support showing that, saying that if you were a public charge, or if you ever take money from the government in terms of like public benefits, they would be responsible. There is a rule that requires you to show that you're not going to be a public charge, that when you become a green card holder, you're not going to be on welfare and take welfare benefits. With VAWA, there's no requirement for that. In fact, we filed the I-864W, which waives this public charge requirement. And as a matter of fact, when you file VAWA, you get something called a prima facie determination, which gives you public benefits while you're waiting for your case to be decided, because the government recognizes that a lot of people are in financially precarious situations as a result of the abuse. So depending on the state you are in, you can get medical insurance, you can get a place to live in, you can get food stamps, you can get a driver's license and all that while waiting for your case to be heard. So that is one of the advantages of filing for VAWA. And another thing is VAWA allows certain self-petitioners to use certain waivers to show hardship to the self-petitioner or their children. This is not available in many case types. Let me explain that. So if you're not able to adjust your status because of maybe either the way you entered the United States, or maybe you have some criminal issues, with VAWA, you're required to show hardship. Sorry, let me go back. With other filing types, you have to show hardship to the US citizen or a US citizen spouse or parent, right? You have to show that if you were not allowed to stay in the country, it's a hardship to your US citizen spouse or parent. So that won't work in VAWA because the abuser is usually the US citizen spouse or parent or child, right? So what VAWA allows you to do is to show hardship to yourself, which is not available in other type of petitions, right? So you can show hardship to yourself, you can show hardship to your child, and that's typically not allowed in other petition types. So that's another advantage. So another thing you need to know about VAWA is that it's confidential. Your abuser will not know, your abuser will not get into trouble.